Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Emerald with only one Ghastly was a fun glass cannon run. Let's follow that up with a Pokemon that doesn't hit nearly as hard. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Black with a team of only one Trubbish. So Trubbish is a first form poison type with pretty even stats. 50 for HP and attack, 62 for defense and special defense, 65 speed, and 40 special attack. That's a little faster than I thought it would be, but I don't like that its special attack is so low, considering most of its good poison moves are special in this game. By level up, we actually learn tons of moves. Gen 5 is pretty good about giving you move variety. We get things like Toxic Spike super early in the game, and although it's not the most useful thing in the world for a solo run, we might get some use out of it. Outside of that, we learn Acid Spray early to do some damage and take out their special defense, as well as the pretty strong Sludge Bomb later on. I can work with this. By TM, we don't actually have tons of choices, and annoyingly, the only one I really care about is Venoshock, but it's post-game, so I won't get it. Maybe Rest or Substitute could get some use, but I kinda doubt it. Our TM move list just isn't that great. I'll probably pick up Return just so that I have a good physical move, but our type variety is gonna be terrible this run. Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through with the challenge, so all this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. It's probably possible to win at a super high level, but our horrible type variety is probably gonna make a lot of fights a lot harder than they'd normally be. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Trubbish. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. Also, yes, I am still sick. Lozenges will hopefully get me through. The show must go on. Also, I bit my cheek like 10 minutes ago, but Let's get this voiceover in before it swells. So right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Snivy with Trubbish so that we can do the whole run with it. I name him Grimer because that's hilarious. Our nature is quiet, so more special attack and less speed. To be honest, I was planning on restarting until I got a good special attack nature, but we got this on the first try, so I think I'm just gonna roll with it. Stench is our ability. Weirdly enough, it does different things in different games. In Gen 3 or 4, it made it so you run into less wild Pokemon, so grinding would actually be harder. But in Gen 5, it gives you a 10% flinch chance on every move. That's actually really good. It might still reduce encounters though. Bulbapedia's kind of vague about that. It doesn't feel like it's reducing encounters, but I don't really know for sure. So the early travel is actually really slow and pretty difficult until I grind it up a bit. Normally, early game travel is pretty easy, but we're running into an issue where both us and the wild Pokemon are mostly using weak normal moves as you'd expect. But because we're poison type and they're normal type, they're doing a much better job with them. We don't get the same type attack bonus until we hit level 12 and learn Acid Spray, but I know that the moment that we have it, we're going to be doing way more damage. It's only a 40 power move, but it lowers special defense by 2 stages on every hit, so it quickly starts doing way more damage. I figure as we get later on in the run, it'll be a perfect setup for stuff like Sludge Bomb. Now, normally I don't even show the first Bianca fight because it's so easy, but on this attempt, we only beat it because we set up 2 levels of Toxic Spikes, so it would badly poison one of our Pokemon. Then they kept using stuff like Tail Whip and Leer for far too long. I'll make sure to get Acid Spray before I fight Charon. I think that's a requirement. There we go, we hit level 12 and made very short work of Charon's team. I figure this move should be good enough to at least let us get some easy wins on early fights. The first gym is pretty easy too, although if I was even a level lower, I think I would have lost. Hey, the nice side effect of Acid Spray lowering their special defense is that although we don't do a ton of damage on the first hit, they're constantly getting weaker. So if they try and use a potion, we end up taking that turn to do way more damage than when we first got their health that low in the first place. And as expected, the Charon fight on the way out of town went just fine. I don't think we've ever had trouble with this Charon fight, just the one before the gym. Okay, you know how I said that Acid Spray should make some of the early game fights easy? Well, I meant like super early game fights, because I think it's about to get hard again. We have an end fight coming up that I'm not too worried about, but then it's the normal gym, and we often just go down to retaliate. We don't really have any way of stopping that from happening, either. We just have to hope that she doesn't use it, because sometimes she uses something else instead. I'm holding out hope that the fact that we are using special moves will make the fight easier since we don't have to worry about Intimidate. but I could still see it being something we have to grind for. I'm in this weird situation where regardless of if I'm using Acid Spray or Toxic Spikes, I have to dedicate some turns to building it up before it's useful, but I'm not tanky enough to get away with doing both. So in case you're wondering why I've just been using a lot of Acid Spray and not much Toxic Spikes, that's why. I figure that Toxic Spikes will be more useful later on when we're fighting gym leaders with larger teams. Plus, for as cool as Toxic is, it takes a long time to build up, so it's not as good as taking them down in a few hits from other moves. Toxic just is not all that useful in solo runs in general. You're giving them too many chances to hit them. Still, maybe we could find some use for it in the long run. Let's go try the next fight and see how it goes. Okay, so N was pretty easy, but we still lost about half our health. I set up some Toxic Spikes at the start, but it really wasn't needed. Acid Spray and Sludge together as a combo probably could have two-shot his whole team anyway. I get the feeling that if Toxic Spikes does end up being helpful, it won't be until near the end of the run. Normal Gym goes pretty much exactly how you'd expect though. I take huge damage off takedown, but was still able to two-shot Herdier thanks to Acid Spray, but we just feint to retaliate right after. I think I'm gonna have to level up until they start spamming Leer like usual. Worst case scenario, I bet we could easily win at level 29 when we get Sludge Bomb. This gym is just brutal in the solo runs. Okay, level 26, and we almost have a win. The problem is, we survive Retaliate, but with low enough health that we just go down to a second Retaliate right after. Well, a second one's gonna be weaker. Maybe we can get away with surviving if I held a berry. So I tried this a bunch more times with a berry, and although it wasn't going great, they were doing different things every time, so I figured I stood a chance. On this insane run, Herdier missed takedown, so we didn't get hurt or lose defense early, but Watchog's second Retaliate crit to drop us to only 1 health before we took her down. Well, I guess I'm happy I had that berry. So I'm really not sure how the next gym is gonna go. It's the Bug Gym, and our first Pokemon is a Poison type. I really don't know if I want to brute force it with Acid Spray and Sludge, or if it'll make more sense to use a different move. But if our only choice is Pound, then I figure I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and rely on Acid Spray. Even if they resist us, that special defense drop really does add up. Hey, at least Levani will be easy. It's a shame we don't really fight many Grass-type Pokemon in this run, considering that's what we're best against. I'm still gonna hit level 29 to learn Sludge Bomb first, just in case. Hey, so between that line and this line, I couldn't read the words on my screen anymore, and I had a massive blood pressure drop for 2 straight hours. And then I went to a walk-in clinic, and unfortunately they told me they can't prescribe anything until I see the cardiologist, and I do all the cardiology tests, which are not for like 2 weeks. Back to work. So you know what really surprised me about the Bug Gym? Both of the Pokemon that I thought could put up a fight hardly did any damage to us at all, and it was the Levani at the end that nearly took us out. If the second Razor Leaf crit, then we would have fainted for sure. I should have used Acid Spray, then Sludge Bomb. That way the Hyper Potion wouldn't have let him get as many hits in. I'm still kind of figuring out when I should go for Sludge Bomb, and when it's better to use some Acid Sprays first. Right after that is a Bianca fight where we literally got hit once. I figure that she won't be a problem until Munna evolves, and even then she's still gonna have to fight smarter if she's gonna win. Or like, use 50 full restores, which it wouldn't shock me if she has. Sharon right after is just about as easy, although the Sandstorm really wore us down over the course of the fight. He did a bit of damage, but Sludge Bomb and Acid Spray is just such a good combo. Things have been really simple so far outside of the normal gym, but it's time for it to get harder. We have an end fight where he's got a really solid Psychic type, followed by the usually very hard Electric gym. Sigalith has given us troubles on quite a few runs, but with us being a Poison type, I'm pretty confident that we'll get stuck for at least a little while. Then there's the Electric gym, where they just love switching Pokemon. Hey, do you think maybe Toxic Spikes would help in that fight? I mean, maybe. Is this one of the generations where switching Pokemon turns bad poison into regular poison? I'm actually not sure. I know they changed that at some point. Maybe I'll try the fight with Sludge Bomb first, then try Toxic Spikes if that doesn't work. I figure Acid Spray isn't worth using since they'll just switch to get rid of the debuff anyway. Wish me luck! Alright, so N went badly, but I don't think I need to level up too much before we stand a chance. As expected, Sigalith hits really hard and is faster than us, but we're also super close to two-shotting it. I bet just a few levels would make us faster. Then we can get an easy two-shot, and hopefully the rest of his team isn't a problem. Oh, this is brutal. So I try a few times at level 64, and finally get one where we didn't get hurt at the start thanks to a flinch. Just end up going down to a fire punch from Darumaka on the first try where Sigalith didn't make us faint. I even had a berry to help. Maybe I need a few more levels? Level 36. You're not ready for this one. So we're able to one-shot Darumaka now to let us get farther into the fight, but after that is Scraggy, who hangs on with a tiny bit of health to finish us off. Maybe if I could get super lucky and get Sigalith to not use Psybeam twice? He doesn't always use it right away. So I tried a bunch more times until we got this attempt where Psybeam absolutely would have finished us off, but he decided to use Air Cutter for no particular reason. That left us with enough health to survive Scraggy at the end. Still not sure if we're ready for the Electric Gym, though. Alright, so I took a few cracks at the Electric Gym, and it's really not going well. They're all faster than us and hit pretty hard. We came kind of close to one-shotting them with Sludge Bomb, but not close enough to win in 1 or 2 levels. It might take a lot more than that. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, though. Acid Spray was really carrying us. As soon as I get into a fight like this where I can't get the debuff to stick because of their switching, we run into problems. It really doesn't help that special attack is still our lowest stat. So I got up to level 40 and tried a bunch of times. We're still not one-shotting them, though we do get super close sometimes, so I keep trying. What actually ended up saving us is that Sludge Bomb poisons them sometimes, and that does just enough extra damage that they sometimes faint. It took quite a few tries, but on this one we survived a spark with only 2 health left to finally get the win. By comparison, the Charon fight on the way out of town is way easier. Winley lost a third of our health over the entire fight. I don't think he's beaten us until maybe right before the Elite Four. Travel time again. Hey, do you know there's a PowerPoint up just outside the cold storage? Because I didn't until I was looking up where the PowerPoint ups are earlier today. I really want more PowerPoints for Sludge Bomb. I figure we're keeping it the whole game, and it runs out of PowerPoints pretty quickly. So we have the ground gym coming up, and although it's always easy, I figure it's going to be a nightmare this time. Not only are they super effective against us, but poison moves straight up don't work on steel types, and he's got one. So we're going to have to brute force that with Return. If that sounds awful, it's because it probably will be. I think I'm going to have to seriously grind before we beat that one. I made sure to fight some extra trainers for the experience, just in case. So this actually went even worse than I thought due to something that I just didn't anticipate. Crocodile at the start used Torment, so we can't use the same move twice in a row, but obviously they resist all of our non-poison moves. Once we got to Excadrill at the end, it was obvious that we were gonna lose, since he resists Return and the other moves won't work on him. But it doesn't matter because he just took us out before we even got to attack. That's okay, I think we're only a few levels away from one-shotting some of his team. Maybe once we can do that, we'll stand a chance. So I came back a few levels later, and although we did one-shot Crocodile at the start, and didn't get hurt very much by Palpitoad, we still can't seem to take out Excadrill. All it needs to do is use Hone Claws once, and it'll totally destroy us after. The worst part is that we literally cannot learn any moves that Steel does not resist. All we can do is keep leveling and hoping for the best. So I tried a bunch more times at level 50. Excadrill has a lot of different attack patterns that he does, but no matter what, we still just lose. The best try that we got was this one where he opened with Hone Claws, but the combo of that raising his speed and Bulldoze lowering ours makes him faster than us, so we can't finish him off. Worst part is, if we level up more, then we'll drop him into red health, and he'll just use Hyper Potions. Normally he wastes them on earlier Pokemon, but now that we one-shot them, he doesn't. It's alright, I haven't been able to use any vitamins, so our effort values must be maxed out. I'll just use rare candies and then try to fight tons. Okay, this is insane. At level 55, I tried tons more times and just kept losing thanks to going down quickly to his Bulldoze, but this time, he used Slash a few times without critting, so we got some extra hits in on him. We got him to use both Hyper Potions, and he still just beat us. There's no way we have to be level 60, right? I'll try a bunch at 58 and see how that goes. This is insane. At level 58, I tried a bunch more, and even on this run where I got crit right away, we still just lost. I guess we really do need to be level 60. I wish there was a good item I could hold on to right now to help with this, but I can't get a Silk Scarf until later, and I haven't seen enough Pokemon to get the Shell Bell, so I just have to brute force this. So just so you can see how important it is that he picks moves that work well for us, here's our first try at level 60, and we do way worse than some of our tries even at level 55, just because he used Hone Claws first. At this point, I actually just want him to use Bulldoze and Slash because at least we can keep the speed advantage for longer and have a chance at getting some flinches. I think this might be possible at this level though, so I'm gonna keep trying. Okay, it took 2 more tries, but eventually we got a win just thanks to a lucky crit. I'll take it. I'm just happy we don't need to level up more. I figure the next 2 fights are gonna be easy with how much we leveled up, even if N has some Steel types in the next fight. Yeah, that's what I thought. One-shot sweep on Bianca. We got a crit, and that may have been required for the sweep because of Intimidate, but who knows. N might actually be harder. I was right, he was harder. Not really by much, but we did actually take a decent chunk of damage in this fight. It's crazy how much Steel types shut us down. I'm thinking once we get Surf and can get a Silk Scarf, that'll be our best way to fight Steel types. A Silk Scarf to get as much damage as we can out of return. Either that or Black Sludge, since it's basically leftovers for poison types, although we can't get that for a little bit. Alright, so we've got the usually easy Flying Gym coming up, then one of the Cheren fights that's actually sometimes hard. I'm not too worried since we've leveled up a lot, and there's a Poison Barb before the Ice Gym so I can power up our Sludge Bomb if I need to. That said, it really only takes 1 Steel type to shut us down, so I could get stuck at an unexpected point like some mandatory trainer fight I can't think of right now. If that happens, then I'll for sure show it, but usually regular trainers just aren't that much of a problem. Let's hope nothing unexpected happens. Well, the Flying Gym was nearly a sweep, but the one time we didn't get a one-shot, Swanna was just using Aqua Ring to heal back up, so we never took a hit. Nothing to worry about. After that was Cheren, and I didn't even walk into the fight with full health thanks to some trainers I fought along the way, but it didn't matter because the only thing that hit us was Fake Out. We're still such a high level thanks to having to beat the ground gym that they didn't stand a chance. And after that was probably the hardest Ice Gym fight I've ever had in Gen 5. And by that I mean we got hit once. Yeah, it really wasn't all that hard. So there isn't a whole lot of travel left. There's Dragon Spiral Tower, the Desert Resort, then we have our last rival fights in the Dragon Gym. Now I could actually see the last Bianca fight being kind of hard because of Masharna, but I'm really not that worried about Cheren or the Dragon Gym. I do think that the Elite Four will be a nightmare though, so I'm still fighting trainers along the way. We need that experience pretty badly. It's pretty rare that the Gen 5 Elite Four isn't brutal, so I can't go getting overconfident now. On our way there, I took the Plume Fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone asks anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Now, believe it or not, but Masharna wasn't an issue at all, but we did still lose half of our health in the fight. It was almost all from Samurott, who ended up hitting Slash followed by Aqua Jet. If that Slash had crit, then I think we'd have actually gone into red health by the end of the fight. We may be hitting the really hard part. We're still not all that tanky. Before getting to the Dragon Gym, I hunted around for a Garbodor. See, half the time in this game, they have Black Sludge, and that's basically leftovers for poison types. So I go ahead and catch one just to use the item. I don't know if it's going to be more useful than our Poison Barb, but I figure it's quick and easy to grab, and it could be super useful, so it's worth grabbing. Well, I guess it didn't matter what item I used, because they did so little damage to us in the Dragon Gym. I want to say that Hexorus would hit us hard if we didn't crit, but let's be honest, it was probably going to use Dragon Dance anyway. And for the final Cheren fight, we have an easy time like usual, but we can already see hints of what's to come. Emboar hits us pretty hard with Flamethrower. Our Black Sludge did a decent job of healing us back up over the course of the fight, but if that were a Psychic move from a Psychic type, then I'd probably have dropped into red health. Well, Psychic moves from Psychic types is exactly what we're going to be fighting soon, so I'm not exactly looking forward to that. So things have been going smoothly after we got past the brutal ground gym, but I think that we're about to run into a brick wall. The Elite Four is always hard in this game, and this will be no exception. Grimsley has a steel type, and we tend to be useless against those, and Caitlyn is a psychic trainer. I may have to finally ditch the toxic spikes that I never ended up using in favor of payback so that we have a dark move for that fight. It may even be good for the Chantel fight considering ghosts resist poison. I don't really know why ghosts resist poison, but they do. Really, Marshall is the only Elite Four member that I'm not very worried about this time, although I'm pretty sure Mine Xiao has psychic moves. I could be misremembering. Don't even get me started on N and Ghetsis. Both have a steel type, so I could see each one of them being their own brick wall. As much as we've been hitting hard, I don't think one solid damage move is gonna carry us much longer. Now that we're the Elite Four, let's take a look at our stats. I gotta say, it's not really looking good. None of our stats are very high, and despite having a good special attack nature, it's still our lowest stat. Between being an awful type for the Elite Four of this game, and our bad stats, we have a lot working against us. But I'm holding out hope that things like Black Sludge and Acid Spray could make things easier than I expect. Seriously though, this could be one of the hardest endgames we've had in a Gen 5 run in a long while. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Ghost Trainer Chantel. Right away, we're doing almost no damage with payback. We got burned by Will-O-Wisp, but then quickly taken out by Psychic. Alright, well, that's one of the ones that I thought would be easier, so this is gonna suck. Let's try a different one first. Second is Dark Trainer Grimsley. First is Scrafty, and we take it out early with a lucky crit, but then next is Crocodile, and it's got Earthquake, so we go down fast. I kind of forgot about this. This is going to be a nightmare Elite Four. I know it. Let's try the next one. Third is Fighting Trainer Marshall. Man, I tried this one a few times, and even when we got a lucky flinch to take out Throw with more health left, Sock always takes us out. The problem is that Throw has Bulldoze, and that lowers our speed, so Sock ends up being faster. Look, there's no way we're beating Caitlyn, right? Fourth is Psychic Trainer Caitlyn. Yeah, that's what I thought. Even with pretty good luck against Reuniclus, we still just lose to it using Psychic. One Psychic is enough to take us from full health to only 4. Well, you know what? This is what rare candies are for. I can't possibly see us winning until we gain a ton of levels. I'm going to start by leveling up and fighting Marshall, since I think that's going to be the one that we beat at the lowest level. Level 73, and this was our first try. Right away, Throw never hurt us because we got a flinch with Acid Spray, then took him out with a Sludge Bomb for a great start. Sock got us with Stone Edge, but it didn't crit, so we took him out without taking too much damage as well. Conkeldurr went worse, with him critting us for huge damage as we took him out, and last was Mine Xiao, who just finished us off with Rock Slide after surviving Sludge Bomb. Well, Stone Edge is a high crit move, and we had to get lucky to get the flinch at the start, so I should probably level up a little bit more before I try again. Level 75. Alright, so here's the problem. Unless we get a lucky flinch or crit on Throw, we always lose speed to Bulldoze. The damage we take from it isn't too crazy, but the speed loss is enough that we always take an extra hit against the rest of his team, and that dooms us, even when none of the Stone Edge is crit. I figure there's no point in trying over and over for crazy luck when we already know I'm gonna have to be a higher level for the rest of the Elite Four anyway. So maybe by level 78, we can be faster even after Bulldoze hits. Level 78, and we're still slower when we get hit by Bulldoze, but this time, we lucked out and Conkeldurr just missed Stone Edge. Thanks to that, we had way more health going into the Mine Xiao fight at the end, and it was still just using Rock Slide. We never flinched, so we took it out. That was close, though. What do you think is the next easiest? Maybe Chantel? So I try a few times, and we're doing way more damage than before with payback. The problem is that her second Pokemon has Earthquake, and the best I've seen is us surviving with low red health. We can get to Chandelure sometimes, but it's got Psychic and really high special attack, so there's really nothing we can do to stop it yet. Just gotta keep getting stronger. 5 levels later at level 83, and to be honest, things go the exact same. The worst part is that we can't even hope that our ability gets us a flinch, because Cofagrigus at the start replaces our ability with Mummy, a dud ability. We'd have to hope for a crit, but more likely we'd need 2 crits, since we're not even getting near the end of her team. I'm starting to worry that we're not even going to win this below level 90. It's funny how the Elite Four almost seems custom built to shut down poison types. Level 87, things are going pretty much the same. We're landing with yellow health off Earthquake, so we are getting a little tankier, but considering it's Chandelure using Psychic, we would probably need green health to actually survive. I guess we're trying at level 90 then. This is insane. So I tried a bunch of times at level 90 and it didn't look like things were going any better until we finally landed a crit. It was against Golurk too. That's perfect since it's one of the more dangerous Pokemon. Thanks to that, we were able to survive Psychic from Chandelure. Now, I was worried I'd still lose, but it turns out that Jellicent really wasn't hitting us that hard. In fact, after she used a full restore, we just one-shot her without a crit. That's a really wide damage range. Whatever, I'm just happy that we won that awful fight. So you'd think that after all those levels that Grimsley would be easy, right? Nope. Scrafty gets us with Sand Attack every time now. Then Crocodile two-shots us with Earthquake as we still aren't dealing great damage. The worst part is, he has Intimidate, so Return isn't going to do much, and of course he resists Sludge Bomb. I think Sludge Bomb might still be our best move I can use on him, though. Maybe I'll try a bunch of times and just see if they do something different. So on the very next try, I luck out and get a crit to take out Scrafty early, then managed to take out Crocodile thanks to poisoning him on a Sludge Bomb, so he took enough damage to be a two-shot. That is so lucky you have no idea. Liepard was a one-shot with Sludge Bomb, but last is Bisharp, and my heart sunk when I hit Return and did almost no damage. Seriously, it was almost nothing. Okay, if Bisharp is this bad at level 90, and we have to fight another one when we get to Ghetsis, then we're in the territory of this run not being winnable. I need to level up for sure. Okay, 3 tries later at level 95, and things were looking a little bit better. We got a flinch on Scrafty at the start, so no Sand Attack, and once again poisoned Crocodile to secure the two-shot, although I'm not sure we need to get the poison anymore. This time, we got hit by Fake Out from Liepard, but that's okay. We just healed back up with our held item. Last was Bisharp, and this all comes down to if she crits with Night Slash. It's a high crit move, but it doesn't hurt that much as long as it doesn't crit. I was petrified that we were going to drop her into a sliver of health and use a full restore, but we crit on the final hit to guarantee a knockout. I was just hoping to get through this on flinches, but hey, I'll take a crit. So the Caitlyn fight. I was worried about this one. Each member hits us hard, but we hit pretty hard with Payback. If we're slower, then we would get the one-shot thanks to Payback doing more damage if we get hit first, but even with our negative speed nature, we're faster. We got a lucky crit to take out Reuniclus at the start faster, but it really didn't matter. We still just lose to Sigilyph. That said, we're incredibly close to landing a one-shot, so it might just be best if we level up to 100. Here's our stats at level 100, by the way, just in case you're curious. It's way higher than when we first walked into the Elite Four, but it's still not exactly awesome. 124 special attack is not all that amazing at level 100, I have to say. Especially since we have a positive special attack nature. Alright, so I tried this a bunch of times at level 100, and one of the most confusing things is that I kept not one-shotting Reuniclus with Payback, but I always do on the turn it uses a full restore. I think that because it was going first by using an item, that was powering up our Payback. If that's actually how that works, that's kind of insane. The same thing happened right after with Musharna, although it's not doing us any favors. I'd rather it take an extra turn because we're faster and it would let us heal more from our sludge. Sigilyph is finally a one-shot now too. We crit, but I really don't think we needed it. Thanks to that though, we had a lot of health going into the Gothitelle fight and we were able to take her out. I'm just happy we even got past the Elite Four at this point. With the Elite Four down, all that's left is the final 2 fights with N and Ghetsis. To be honest, I think there's like a 50-50 chance that I just can't win. Both N and Ghetsis have a Steel type, and after how badly the Bisharp fight went last time, I'm paranoid we'll just lose. Only one way to find out. First is N. This is my 3rd try. Right away, we just Sludge Bombed twice to take out Zekrom, as it really didn't hurt us much, but second was Klinklang. I guess he wanted to send out a Steel type early. He uses Metal Sound to sharply drop our special defense, then he hit a Hyper Beam that really did a lot less damage than I was expecting before we took him out. Vanillux held on from a Sludge Bomb and made it Hail, then used a full restore to last even longer so we would get hurt by Hail before we could finish it off. Sneaky move. Caracosta is next, and I know it can't be one-shot thanks to its ability, so I used Acid Spray first, took a Stone Edge, and then finished him off with a critical Sludge Bomb that probably didn't need to be a crit. Archeops ended up being a one-shot with another critical Sludge Bomb. I do think that one did need to be a crit. I'm not sure though. Last was Zoroark, but it's pretty frail, so one Sludge Bomb took it out. Not too bad. I figure Ghetsis will be much worse. Last is Ghetsis, and this is many tries in. Cofagrigus loves using Protect and Psychic, and after many failed tries, I learned that it's best when uses Protect as much as possible, because that gives us more turns to heal. On this attempt, we took it down with most of our health left thanks to a flinch. Bufflant right after always hits us hard, but we can reliably two-shot it. Third is Seismitoad though, and his Earthquake really wrecks us. We come incredibly close to taking him down on our best attempt, but we still faint. I can't level up anymore, I can't learn better moves for this fight, but I'm holding out hope that maybe if I could get some flinches, or maybe poison him with a Sludge Bomb, then maybe I could take him out. I don't know if I could beat the rest of his team even if we take him out, but I want to keep trying. I don't think it's quite impossible yet. Okay, a couple tries later and we got this one. Cofagrigus didn't go the best, but it didn't go the worst, and Bufflant went about how it always does. Seismitoad is the one who decided to do something different, something I never saw before. He used Rain Dance. That bought us time, letting us heal more, and we actually took him out with a decent bit of health left. Hydreigon took advantage of the rain by hitting us hard with Surf, but we still took it out. Second from last was Bisharp, and I was praying it wouldn't crit us, and it didn't. We just hardly held on and took it out with 3 hits, but we're 1 hit away from fainting. Last was Electros, and we hit hard, poisoned him, but went down to Flamethrower. That was so close. Okay, 1 crit or flinch on a run that lucky, and I think this is possible. That was the only time I saw Seismitoad use Rain Dance, though. I don't know how rare that is. I'm gonna try a few more times and see if he does it again. 4 tries later, and it seems like it's pretty 50-50 on if he uses Rain Dance or not. We started great in this one with Cofagrigus using Protect a lot more than normal, so we got to heal up more, so I thought we'd do well, but we actually lost to Bisharp without him even critting us. Gonna be honest, I'm really not liking the chances of winning this one. I'm up for giving it a handful more tries, but unless I get some kind of lucky crit to take out one of the more dangerous Pokemon early, I don't think I'm winning this one. Worst part is, we can't even one-shot Seismitoad with a crit because of its ability. That's what I want to one-shot the most. Another 3 tries later, and we finally got the luck we needed. We got a flinch on the first round with Seismitoad, then it wasted its other chance to hit us by using Rain Dance instead, so we came away from Seismitoad with the most health yet. Bisharp went pretty well with it not critting us, but we still took some heavy damage, so I really wasn't sure if we were going to be able to take down Electros at the end or not. But as it came out, we had our final stroke of luck. I'll never know if we could have survived a Flamethrower, because we nailed it with a crit to take it out. I won't lie, I was kind of close to giving up. That was actually kind of awesome. Yeah, most of the run was pretty easy outside of the Ground Gym and the Electric Gym, but everything at the end, from the Elite Four to N and Ghetsis, was incredibly close. I am so thankful that they made Stench so much stronger by causing flinches in Gen 5, because without that, we would not have stood a chance. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon Challenge should be up next Saturday like usual, I think, with Pokemon Ruby with only version exclusives. I loved doing those version exclusive challenges, so I'm pumped to do another one. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Alright, outro time. I have been working on doing this voiceover all day. I've been taking breaks between like every page because I need to. There was, after page 2, I had to go to a walk-in clinic because I was in such rough shape. I needed to see if they could prescribe anything for my blood pressure, but they couldn't because they said, you know, I've got cardiology clinic stuff coming up really, really soon. So they said that I should just, you know, wait until that. They can't safely prescribe me anything right now because they don't know if it'll do something to my heart. They don't know if it's a heart problem. They don't know what it is, of course. But like, I've got a ringing in my ears literally right now. My eyes keep losing focus on the screen. It's brutal. Oh, and it's not POTS or POTS. I don't know if you pronounce it as POTS or POTS. Just gonna point that out because I pointed it out in the pinned comment on last week's video, which isn't even up yet by the time that I'm doing this voiceover. But I'm just gonna say that because I literally get tweeted like once a day with people saying, it sounds extremely similar to Potts. No, it doesn't sound extremely similar to Potts. It has one thing in common, and it's not even very accurate. But, I mean, I remember what Potts is because 2 years ago when I had other unrelated health issues, everybody said it sounded like Potts too, and it wasn't even close to that back then either. That was from, what's it called? Cervical radiculopathy, I think is what my physiotherapist referred to it as. Although I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, because she's really, really Irish, and that's how she pronounced it. But it's like a neck and shoulder thing. Anyway, we don't know what this problem is right now. I've got a billion appointments with specialists that are going to take forever. But the nice thing is, since the last time I did a voiceover, the cardiology clinic has gotten back to me. Not only do I have appointments, they were originally going to be in November, but thankfully they called me back the next day. They had cancellations. Now they're going to get me in mid-August, which is way, 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 way better. I don't remember what day this video is going to come out. Assuming I even get it edited on time and everything, I don't know, because I'm clearly getting worse. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to work. But on the 8th of August, I'm seeing my doctor, and then later the same day, I'm going to be going to a cardiology clinic at a nearby hospital, and they're going to be hooking me up with one of those Holter monitors. I actually had one of those Holter monitors back in 2022. I had a 48-hour one. This time I'm getting a 72-hour one. Oh, man, sorry. I got, like, wicked pressure in my head right now. I got, like, I don't know if it's the lightheadedness or a headache coming on or what. But it's hard to focus. Give me a second. All right, sorry, I just need to take a minute. Yeah, so I got a 72-hour Holter monitor that I'm doing on August 8th, or I'm getting it put on August 8th. Obviously, I wear it for 3 days. And then I give that back to them, and then the week after on the 14th, I think it is. I've got it written down. I think it's on the 14th, I'm doing a stress test one. I think that's where they do like an EKG thing while you're on a treadmill. I think that's what it's going to be. I don't know for sure. 2 years ago when I had another heart thing done, they had me on one of those exercise bikes that they tilt at like a 45-degree angle, and then they do an ultrasound of your heart while you're pedaling on it. But like when I did this stuff back in 2022 and then I saw a cardiologist, he said that my heart looks really healthy. And in fairness, I was doing a lot more cardio back then than I am now, but like obviously I'm not doing any cardio right now because like 4 weeks ago I was good to do 30 minutes a day on the treadmill, and then now I'm lucky if I'm having a day where I can walk up and down the hallway as much as I would like to, you know? So, yeah, things have been declining, and they've been declining kind of fast, which is stressful. So I've got people here with me now. My mom is visiting nearly every single day because I have, like, a blood pressure drop every single day now, where I'll just be useless for, like, 2 hours. I already had mine today. That happened, like, immediately after I did the first 2 pages of this voiceover. Whenever I intersperse that bit where I'm like, hey, I went to the walk-in clinic. Yeah, I was literally laying in bed for 2 hours with low blood pressure. And then I went to the walk-in clinic and, you know, nice doctor, listened to me on everything, and he asked a lot of really good questions, but he didn't really have any advice for me or anything, other than telling me that the amitriptyline that I was prescribed before I probably shouldn't take because it'll lower blood pressure, which is good that he agreed with me on that, because I stopped taking it specifically because the bottle says it can make you dizzy, and I was already having blood pressure issues and dizziness issues by then. And both times I took it because it was supposed to help me with the abdominal pain, but when I would take it, the abdominal pain wouldn't get any better, and the next day I would have just awful lightheadedness, and I couldn't focus my thoughts, and my vision wouldn't focus, and like I get like lights, like streaking lights in my vision. It was just the worst. So I stopped taking that because the doctor who prescribed it to me in the first place said, like, take it if you think it's helping, and only up the dose once every few days if you think you need more. And, so he didn't tell me, like, absolutely take this for sure. The doctor at the walk-in clinic today told me that was the right move to stop taking it because, yeah, it's going to make the blood pressure issues worse. So, yeah, happy I did that. Last week's outro, I think I said how I was prescribed an antibiotic. I think it was sulfameth DS. I think that was the name. I've done the full 7 days of that now, and nothing seems to be better, so I kind of thought it was helping for a bit because the abdominal pains seemed like they were dying down, but no, it just seems like some days it's worse than other days, and the lightheadedness stuff has only kind of gotten worse as time has gone on, so I guess the antibiotic probably didn't help me. So all I'm on right now is like acetaminophen, which is just like a generic Tylenol, and that helps a bit with the abdominal pains. Sometimes it helps more than other times, but I'm not actually on any prescription whatever right now. Maybe I will be soon, but like when I see the doctor, it's the same day that I'm getting the Holter monitor, and actually my doctor's appointment is before I get the Holter monitor on. Not that it would matter, because it's not like the Holter monitor is sending the results live back to a doctor or something. No, it's you wear it for 72 hours and then you drop it off back at the cardiology clinic, and then when they get a chance, they review all of the information that it recorded. And I don't even think it does blood pressure. I think all it does is like your pulse, and like if you have an irregular heartbeat, it'll notice that. But again, like 2 years ago, the doctor was saying my heart looks really healthy. So I don't really think it's probably gotten way worse over the course of 2 years. Probably not. So yeah, the cardiology stuff probably isn't going to be the solution. But there's no reason not to go to the appointments. They've been booked. And one of the things that is free in Canadian healthcare is those appointments. Not everything is free. I have to pay anytime I'm prescribed something or recommended something, so I had to pay for the litany of things that doctors have told me to go pick up now. And I had to pay for the ambulance rides. Actually, I paid for the first ambulance ride. The bill for the second ambulance ride still has not shown up yet because my mail always shows up late. So I don't even know what the second bill looks like, but I'm not looking forward to that. So not everything is free, but those appointments are free. And the walk-in clinic doctor today stressed to me that it's really important I go to those cardiology appointments and my doctor's appointment, because those are what might figure out the problem. He seems to think it might be a heart thing. I'm skeptical, but like I'm obviously not going to fight them on it. And plus, like, even if it's not a heart thing, I still appreciate having a clean bill of health. I appreciate knowing that my heart isn't the problem. Oh, sorry, I'm getting like an awful tension pain. Tension tightness? I don't know. I have an awful pain starting up in my left temple, right near the top. Okay. I can't promise that the next videos are going to be on time, because this is the first time I've had such a hard time doing a voiceover. Like, this is not normal for me. I think it was like yesterday or the day before that I even like jumped on someone's stream just to do co-commentary. And I was okay doing co-commentary that day. And that was a day where I had a blood pressure drop just many hours earlier in the day, but I felt like I was doing okay then, so I was able to talk then. But today, I don't know if it's being in front of the screen. I don't know if it's me projecting my voice because I'm doing the script or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it is really hard for me to do the voiceover today. If I can't do voiceovers, then I can't like keep putting up more challenges, because I'm not going to just get someone else to voice it over. Look, I understand that the appeal of these challenges is more so that you like me, more so than the Pokemon. Because there's other people who do Pokemon challenges too, you know? And there's a lot of people much better than me at Pokemon that you could be watching, and many of you do watch, you know? J-Rose is better than me at this stuff, and a bunch of people, Scott's Thoughts, oh man, he's like a scientist with this stuff. There's loads of people who are better than me at this stuff. You're just watching because you like me, and I appreciate that. But like, so obviously I've got to be the one voicing it over. There's no compromising on that. So like, okay, worst case scenario, okay, not worst case scenario, but let's say I can't do the voiceovers. I've at least been able to play Pokemon recently and write the script recently. So if I really can't get voiceovers done and I really can't get videos done because of that, I can at least keep playing these runs and recording these runs. I mean, unless my health declines more, then, you know, I'll play it by ear. But if I can at least keep playing and writing the scripts, then I can keep working on the challenges, and then whenever I'm well enough that I can start doing voiceovers again, I could like bulk do a bunch of voiceovers and bulk do a bunch of editing. So like, yeah, there could be a gap in uploads, but then after that, I could potentially put out like 2 or 3 Pokemon challenges a week until we've caught back up to where we would be. You know what I mean? And I always reiterate this. I know people are going to be saying like, dude, just don't work on videos right now, worry about your health. 1, don't worry, I am worrying about my health plenty. But 2, hey, I gotta work. Same reason you've gotta work. Bills gotta get paid. Life's expensive. Life only gets more expensive every year. I look, if you're from Ontario, Canada, you already understand that life gets more expensive every single year. It's called a housing crisis for a reason. So I got rent to pay. I gotta pay my rent. I pay my mom's rent for her. I got people who depend on me, so I gotta keep working. I gotta keep doing my job. So at least, if I can keep playing the Pokemon challenges at the same pace, then one day I could like bulk upload a whole bunch of them, like, I don't know, a couple a week, 3 a week, until I'm caught back up. And assuming that the normal amount of people watch them, then at least I get the money for that eventually. Maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. I'm trying to think hopefully, you know? There's no use, there's no use getting depressed about this stuff. That doesn't do anyone any good, so I just try and stay in high spirits, and I try and be realistic about it, and I work within what I'm capable of. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna keep working as hard as I can. As soon as I'm done this voiceover, I am going to make a meal, I guess. Probably something really simple that doesn't require a stand a whole lot. I hate that I haven't been able to cook as much recently, because like I like cooking. I like home-cooked meals. I much prefer home-cooked meals to like ordering out or something. But I've had to stock up on some foods that are just easy to pick up and eat, you know, like store-bought muffins and whatever, and mixed nuts and stuff, and fruits and stuff. Because, mind you, I eat a lot of fruit anyway, but, you know, stuff that I can just pick up and eat easier, because I need to, because I'm not always good to stand long enough to cook, you know? And that's a real bummer for me, because I like cooking. I'm all right at cooking. I'm no chef, but, like, I'm all right at it. I can make some tasty meals. I know how to cook chicken real well. And I'm not very picky with food. I'm happy eating boring chicken and rice meals on an average basis. You know, chicken, rice, Brussels sprouts kind of thing. I like that. I know a lot of ways that I can season that I really enjoy. I'm just not that picky. Look, you know that I sound nasally all the time, right? It's because my sinuses are really narrow. It's like a genetic thing. My dad had it too. And so I can't taste very well a lot of the time. So I'm just not that picky with food, as long as I like the texture, and I'm not very picky with texture. I like the texture of what I cook, obviously. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go downstairs and I'll cook up a bunch of eggs and some breakfast sausage. I can just throw it real easy in the air fryer, and I have some nice like sourdough bread, some sliced bread. I could like throw it on that, you know, throw a few eggs on some bread, maybe a little bit of butter, little bit of garlic and a little bit of onion. I can fry that on the pan with it. Maybe tomato. Oh no, I think I'm out of tomato. That would be really good. Whatever. I'm thinking 3 eggs and a little bit of olive oil, you know, throw a little water on the pan and cover it, cook over the top so it's all nice, salt and pepper, extra salt, because all the doctors keep telling me, have extra salt if your blood pressure is bad, so I'm gonna have extra salt. Throw that on some nice sourdough with some butter on that, and have some breakfast sausages on the side with a little bit of HP sauce. Oh man, my mouth is watering. That sounds absolutely delicious. But maybe I should eat some of those store-bought muffins first, just to make sure I got some food in me first, you know? I do have food in me today, but not like a big meal, you know? Because, you know, I've been trying to do a voiceover and laying down a lot, and I had to go to the walk-in clinic, and yeah, it all sucks, but it'll be okay, probably. I'll probably be fine unless I die. Dying would be a real bummer, but if I'm dead, then you'll know I'm dead because I'll just totally vanish off the internet. Nothing can keep me away from giving you guys Twitter updates, so if you want to know if I'm dead or not, go on my Twitter. Have I tweeted today? Then I'm probably not dead. I mean, that's the truth, though. It's where I give you the most up-to-date medical updates. I try and update you guys on the medical stuff every single day. Because sadly, there has been an update every day. I wish there weren't updates because that would mean I'm at least stable. All right. I'm in bad enough health that even my neighbors are worrying about me at this point, and they're absolute sweethearts, by the way, and I don't want everybody worrying about me. So I'm going to wrap up this recording now. I'm going to go downstairs, and I'm going to fix myself a nice, good meal to eat. Then I'm gonna chill out for a little bit, and if my head's all clear and I'm feeling good enough, then I'm gonna get on editing this thing. Oh, I've already started playing the Ruby run, by the way. I'm already at, I'm like right before the Elite Four. I've already beaten Wally. That run's been really fun so far. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna be good to voice act it, is the big thing I'm worried about. But I'll probably be good enough to at least finish the playing of it and writing the script for it. So maybe that'll come out next week and maybe it won't. I'm going to try my best to keep you guys up to date on Twitter. All right? Yeah, my Twitter's in the link in the description. All of my links are in the description to like all of my stuff. Seriously, it's like links to anything you could possibly ask for are in the description of like all of my videos. So just whatever video of mine you're watching, check out that. And if there is a big gap in uploads and you're really dying for more of me, because I know some of you just listen to me because you want to sleep, or you want to listen to something kind of podcasty and that's like your comfort thing. Look, I have literally over 1,000 Let's Plays on this channel that I've been doing for like 14 years now, since I was in high school. I'm 31 now. I've been doing these Let's Plays since I was in high school. Scroll through the playlist section on the channel. You're gonna find games that you're interested in. Just click on something, listen to it in the background, see if it's your thing or not. If you want recommendations, there's like a billion I could recommend, but like LA Noire was really fun and really funny. Any Mario Party stuff is really fun. I did Pokemon Stadium. Everybody loved that Let's Play. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, that was really fun. Oh my god. If you like Pokemon ROM hacks, I did a Let's Play series with my friends on Dragon Ball Z Team Training. That's a Pokemon Fire Red ROM hack. That was really funny. I don't know, man. There's like a billion things. Kirby Air Ride. Me and my friends tried to 100% the city trial mode. That was super, super fun. The fan favorite thing is always Nancy Drew Shadow at Water's Edge with my friends. That was a really fun one. If you want to get into wrestling and you don't know how to start, check out my Wrestling Empire series. I have tons of people in the comments there who say, I'm not a wrestling fan, but this is awesome and I bought the game and I love it. Or the WrestleMania 2000 Let's Play streaming series that I did recently. That's in the playlists too. You can watch that and you can learn all kinds of history lessons on the GOAT, Midian, one of my favorite unsung heroes of the Attitude Era, at least for the WWF. Yeah, my stomach just growled. I don't know if the mic picked that up or not, but my stomach just growled. Yeah, I'm gonna go fix myself that lunch. Wow, it's 8:15 p.m. I've been having a hard time trying to get this voiceover today, man. Getting it done today. Man. Sorry, my thoughts aren't all there right now. I feel like crap. Okay. I am going to get on that stuff now. Sorry, it's really hard for me to stop rambling once I start rambling. This is why I've been a streamer and a Let's Player for so long. I can't stop talking. I never stop talking. It's how I am. Sorry. Oh, go watch Paraspector. Paraspector on YouTube. He's a dear friend of mine, and I absolutely adore his channel. It's the most, like, 2008, 2009 feeling channel ever, and it's wonderful, and I love it, and he has reviewed tons of Pokemon games, but also James Bond games, and he's reviewing a bunch of Resident Evil games, and I've been helping him try to get Resident Evil Outbreak File 1 and File 2 working online, because those games are super fun. Go check him out, because his stuff is really, really fun, and you'll probably love his Pokemon collectible card game, the video game on like Game Boy Color. He did a bunch of challenges in those games, and those are really, really fun too. Okay, I'm gonna go shut up and make some meals now. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.